Israel is continuing its operations in Gaza to achieve its three war objectives: destroying the threat from Hamas, removing Hamas from power, and freeing the hostages. The world's attention is now on the southern city of Rafah, where Hamas has embedded its remaining battalions among an estimated 1.4 million civilians. 80% of Israelis support an operation in Rafah, and the IDF has made plans to evacuate civilians ahead of the operation. This week, AIPAC sat down with retired IDF Brigadier General Nitzan Nuriel to discuss the strategic imperative of destroying Hamas in Rafah. Here's an excerpt from our conversation.
Much has been said about a potential Israeli operation in Rafah. Can you share with us the imperative, why it is so crucial for IDF to go into Rafah to defeat the remaining battalions of Hamas that are in Rafah, and why is it of such importance to the IDF right now?
With your permission, I will start with 2 points related into the military tasks. And then I will add into it something even more important than that. From the military point of view, we need to cut all the tunnels under the ground between Egypt and Gaza Strip. That was source of the logistics pipe for the Hamas, and we believe that we need to cut it. We need to cut it from the Gaza Strip side, and we need to make sure that the Egyptian will do the same in the Egyptian side. So by the end, when that war will be over, that 14.7 kilometer will be blocked, and nobody will be able to sneak in and provide Hamas those military capabilities. Number two, there are 4 battalions still in Rafah. Out of 22, 18 already had been destroyed by us, and we need to destroy those 4 battalions, not as a revenge. And this is the most important point. We need to make sure that the people of Gaza will understand that Hamas is not longer a player. As long as the people who live in Gaza have the feeling that Hamas may come back again and will control Gaza again, they will still be afraid of them, and they will still, in a way, cooperate with them. They have to make sure that by the end of the military operation, Hamas is not longer controlling Gaza. Israel cannot operate in the area of Rafah when there are 1.4 million refugees all over. So you have to find a mechanism how to maneuver them into a different place. We picked a different place along the shoreline, the Muasi area, and we are going to provide them food, water, electricity, shelters, Wi-Fi, as well as healthcare. And we believe that if you provide them all those things, they will move. I'm very much concerned that Hamas will not let them move because use them as a human shield. So from the operational point of view, on one hand, we have to build up the opportunity for those civilians to move from Rafah into the area of Wasi. At the same time, be prepared to prevent Hamas, prevent them going into that area which is supposed to provide them better security. When we finish that step, it will take a few weeks. Then we can launch the operation. And still, we do have limitations. The hostages. We know that some of them are there. We know that Hamas leaders took them as physically human shields. And we know that in case of coming too close into those locations, they will just kill them. So the paradox is that we have to fight in Rafah in order to destroy those 4 battalions. But we have to do it under a gentle way to make sure that we are not killing our own hostages. This is not a simple task. But those are the dilemma we have on the table at that stage.
So, with all the ups and downs, where do things stand right now?
Surprisingly enough, Sinwar, the head of the Hamas, believed that the time works for him. Even though most of Gaza is not longer a function area, even though they have many, many casualties, even though he lost 75, even more percent from his troops, he still believes that the world will condemn Israel, the world will not support him, but will be against Israel. And he believes that by the end of that conflict, he will be able to recapture Gaza and control Gaza. Therefore, if I combine it to the issue of Rafah, it's important for us to make sure that they will not be able to control Gaza again.
Given what you've described about Hamas's behavior, about refusing to let refugees move within Gaza, how realistic is it for Israel to expect that IDF will be able to move the refugees out of Rafah, and ultimately what will happen in that regard?
We already had an experience with Hamas prevent the people of Gaza moving down to the south. So we saw it already. It's not something new. It's not a scenario that we are playing just from our imagination. It's already happened. And we dealt with it by having enough observation points, enough snipers, enough capabilities to kill those who are open fire against their own people. And after a few times like that, Hamas realized that if they keep those positions, they would be all dead. So they pull back. When they pull back, the people could move. I believe that we are going to see the same thing also around Rafah. In some places, Hamas will open fire, we will kill them, and between 1 or 2 days, the people will have enough windows to move into a safe area.